Hi, welcome to Chalk Talk Sports Podcast, powered by Powering You. I'm your host, Daryl Duvall, inviting you to see us weekly. You can listen to our podcast on Spotify, Apple, and Android. Just a little information about Powering You. Powering You was founded in 2015 to inspire and to enlighten people who are on a personal journey. With that in mind, we decided to create a platform to share the stories of great athletes and things that motivate them. When it comes to motivation, athletes have been trained to push themselves to another level. Leaders are trained to find what motivates a team, and personal motivations drive individuals. Today's host is Dante Wesley, former NFL cornerback who played 9 years in NFL, Carolina, Chicago, New England, and last Detroit. Also a former SWAC and SEC player.
Man, you've done a lot since you retired. So, um, you've been an actor, motivational speaker, entrepreneur. Let's first talk about you. What are you up to these days?
Man,
I know you talk about marriage boot camp, but
yeah, yeah, man. I'm just enjoying life, just raising my kids, trying to keep them going in the right direction, with all this coronavirus situation and just raising my family, man, trying to be the best father and the best dad and best husband I can be. So that's kind of what I'm up to these days.
so again, I'm kind of going back to. I mean, you've done a lot, man, from playing 9 years in the NFL, and I mean, you've done some acting. Kind of elaborate on kind of elaborate on the acting, man. I just kind of want.
Well, the acting is just something that I kind of do on the side. I haven't had anything come up recently, like I said, with everything going on. But the most, I guess, notable project that I had did, I was in the Tyler Perry series, Have and Have Nots, and I was one of the FBI agents on there. So I haven't had a chance to get back there, but that was something that I did. I've done, plenty of commercials here and there throughout the whole year, and just different smaller things. I haven't really just dived all the way into it like I could because, acting takes a lot of time and location is a big part. Being located here in Dallas is not that much uh, work that really come through Dallas. Being in LA or New York or even New Orleans, you have a lot more options. So I haven't really got all the way into it yet. Maybe plan on doing that, in the future. But that was exciting, man. I mean, I really enjoyed, being in the same room working with uh, Tyler Perry. She's a major producer, and it was fun. It was fun. I enjoyed myself, and hopefully I get a chance to get back there and do something, real soon.
That's what I was going to ask you. You had an opportunity to work with Tyler, go to his studios. I mean, hey, from what he's done, from where he is, uh and where he is right now. What is your thoughts? I mean,
Man,
he's in the new studio, right?
yes, he's in the new studio, and at the time I was there, they were actually still building the studio, but I was a part. What I did notice that everything that you see on TV, all the houses and everything, cars, all of that is on his movie set. So he actually have mansions built on hundreds of acres that is a part of every sitcom and every movie. So everything is already right in front of you. So man, I mean, he's doing so much. I mean, when you look at what the part that I did see of what they were building, and I'm sure everything is complete now, man. It's remarkable. It is nothing but a Hollywood down south. And man, I mean, it's big ups to him on everything he's doing and the success he have had in the film industry and movie industry, man. So he's doing a lot of great things. He's doing a whole lot of things, and I'm sure he's going to continue to do things, going forward.
Now, I'm also throw this in there, man. Coming from an HBCU school, um, what is your thoughts? How do you get the message out on HBCU? And you know,
Well, HBCU was I've been a part of that my whole life. From Pine Bluff, Arkansas. So the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff, UAPB, have always been a part of my life. So when I was actually 10 years old, I was a ball boy for the football team at UAPB. And as I got older, I played 2 years with the Arkansas Razorbacks and really didn't get a shot to play there. And then I ended up transferring back home to Pine Bluff, where they gave me the opportunity to make it to the NFL. And so Man, I can't. It's not a. I can say so much about HBCU. It's a whole different environment. It's a part of life that you will never forget. That you will really, uh, enjoy yourself going to. And man, it's what make me to this day. I feel like coming from Pine Bluff, what made me who I am today, because it kept me grounded. It's always a struggle. It's always a struggle coming out of a HBCU. You're gonna have to always do extra than anybody else coming from a bigger university. But it makes you work hard. It makes you appreciate everything that you do have. And I think that was a part of what made me really appreciate the NFL, because here I come from a smaller college, UAPB, and I appreciate the small things that I had there, and I also appreciate the big things that I had playing in the NFL. But it prepared me for a life ahead of just knowing how to persevere and keep on pushing and keep on working hard.
And now I go back to that, man. What do you tell the high school kids who are looking at colleges, and a lot of them just basically kind of overlook HBCU schools, and similar to your situation of you kind of making the decision, you went to Division 1 Arkansas, and you felt like, hey, I mean, I'm not getting my chance. I might need to go home and go, and it's all about, it's about the right situation. What is your thoughts on that?
Well, at the University of Arkansas, my whole goal, I walked on, and I was a red shirt walk on, and I did my best there. And I was the third fastest guy on the team. I ran a 4.39 my second year in college. So I'm the third fastest guy on the team. Did my work, did everything right. And then at the end, when I'm still trying to get a scholarship, because it's very expensive to go there, then the coach told me, we still not able to give you a scholarship. We got to bring in some linemen. So it just really made me know that you really, they don't even appreciate you being there, and you doing the best you can. You working out hard, you staying out of trouble. You like I said, the third fastest guy on the team. You doing everything you possibly can do to stay there, but they still don't appreciate what you're doing. So that's what made me just leave. And I just said, hey, if I'm gonna go somewhere, let me go back home to where, hey, at least I can try to compete for a chance. And Pine Bluff just gave me that opportunity. I was very grateful that the coach at the time, Coach Lee Hartman, he gave me a partial scholarship, and I didn't mind staying at home. Actually, I wanted to stay at home with my mom. So I stayed at home and went to school. They paid for my books and everything, and I was just able just to concentrate on my craft, work hard, enjoy myself while I'm at home with my mom and brother at the time. So the HBCU just gave me an opportunity, and so looking at guys right now that's coming out of high school, that even if you don't get an offer from a big school, you can always go through an HBCU and just be the best you can be at that. And the whole game is all about speed, man. If you can go to these schools and you're the fastest guy on the team and you run a pretty good 40, and you making your presence felt out on the field, the NFL will give you an opportunity. They'll take a look at you. But one thing about it, when you're coming from a small school, you're gonna have to work extra hard. So when the guys is going to Alabama, going to Florida, when those guys starting to slack, you got to continue to be able to work hard every year to make sure you stay there, because there's not many of us from a black college that's in the NFL. And one thing about it, even Doug Williams, I used to always enjoy talking to Doug before we played Tampa Bay, because he was actually working with Tampa Bay staff at the time. And we would always greet each other and always say, hey, here, well, we glad to see each other another year, because there's not too many black college guys that come through the league. And so the ones that do come through, you try your best to stay in touch with them, and you hope the best for them, because we represent a conference that's really not known, really not heard of. And even with Teron Armstead, who was the fastest lineman that ever came through the NFL draft, combine. That was a major plus for a HBCU, knowing that you have that type of talent down there and it's not overlooked. So a lot of scouts, they do overlook the smaller schools, but man, you got to just make your presence felt. You got to do something extra special that the bigger schools can't do. And so, that's what's special about going to a HBCU, man. It's just the effort and the effort, the grind, the will you have to put in to be there and to try to make it out.
Yeah, because I had an opportunity to go to the recent Senior Bowl during about 2 years ago, and I ran into one of the players who went to Georgia Southern University, and I mean, he had a chip on his shoulder, and I mean, the coach asked him, "What makes you different? What motivates you?" Because I mean, he thought he was a D1 a kid, and I mean, hey, he had to go out there and do what he needed to do. I mean, he got it. He got a chance to go to the combine, and I mean, the Reese's. I mean, and then I think this kid now is playing. at Green Bay. But I mean, again, it's not Georgia Southern is not a HBCU school, but it's a D2 school, and I just kind of
Yeah,
all the kids. I mean, everybody can't go to D1. I mean, and so
that's true.
only a certain and only 1% is actually going to make it anyway. I mean,
That's true. Yeah,
yeah, 1% is going to be. I mean, you always got to have a backup plan, and
yeah,
NFL means not for long, and it's not NFL is any sport. Only a certain percentage of people, but you got to make yourself different. And when you in the HBCU, because they obviously I mean, overlook that. And when
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
And the one thing that really helped me out was more when I did go and play with the Razorbacks, would just let me know that we're really actually playing in the SEC, because I played a year there, so I played
right,
against every SEC team from Alabama to LSU. I played against all these teams, and what that really made me do is just is realize there's so much talent out there. And then when I actually went to Pine Bluff, I knew I constantly had to continue to get better, because I understand, yeah, that it's a different talent level from the SWAC and compared to the SEC, and I think that really helped me out, because I never in my mind got to the point felt like that I have arrived and I'm the best out here on the field. I never got to that point, because I know what's out there, and so sometimes it's good to see what's out there, to go check other schools out, take a look at their talent at a talent level, to realize and let you know within yourself that, hey, you might be good on this level, but you're gonna have to work extra hard to be on the second level. And I think that's the hardest thing about uh coming from an HBCU, is you got to realize you're gonna have to work extra hard to stay in the league. You got to
right,
work a little bit extra, man. I mean, and that's what you're gonna have to realize. That's what you're gonna have to do. And some guys can do it, some guys can't. That's the difference between being a professional and being a just a regular college athlete. It takes a different mindset. It takes a different mindset that you're gonna have to do all the dirty work. You got to do everything that the other guys don't want to do, and you're gonna have to just continue to do it every year, because every year they're looking to try to replace you, and so
yeah.
you're gonna have to continue to work hard
They consistently trying to replace you.
all the time.
It's a kid that my fiance's uh nephew played baseball at UAPB,
Uh huh.
and they gave him he was from Little Rock, and they gave him a walk on scholarship, and so but and he got mad because the coach, and I mean the whole family got mad, and
Hmm.
because they let him go, but I'm like, it's all about that coach trying to win,
Yeah.
and when the coach is looking for talent, and if and, you have to understand that the coach is going to come. He's going to go out there and find the best talent he can to help him take it to the next level. Because all you are, so you got to make yourself different.
Yeah, you got to make
You got
yourself.
to,
You got to stand out. You got to stand out, man. That's the
right,
key. That you got to stand out somewhere. You got, and I tell a lot of guys, you got to do something that's not normal. And so, what's the difference between just say, I can say myself, and is that with the time I did come out, I was 6'1", I was 212, and still and ran a 4.3. You know what I'm saying? And that's different. You don't see too many guys at 6'1" and 212. And now you see a lot of guys that's running 4.3. I mean, you got the Metcalf guy that's 6'4" and almost 240. He running a 4.3.
right.
So speed is different, man. And then you got a Julius Pepper, somebody that's 6'6", 290, and run a 4.4. Come on, man. I mean, that's DB time. You got to just do you got to do something that's out the ordinary, that they can say ain't too many guys doing this. And that's the
Right.
difference. You can't be average. You can't be a average guy. It got to be something special about you. I had a kid that's went to Texas Tech, and I knew his dad. And his dad played NFL. His dad had ran a 4.4 when he was coming out, and he told he told him, he said, man, if you go out there and run a 4.5, you're not going to get drafted. He said, because everybody can run a 4.5. It's safety. You're going to have to do something special. And sure enough, he went out there, he ran a 4.5, and he didn't get drafted, and he got on a team just for training camp. But they ended up releasing him. But you got to do something special to stay in the league and to get in the league. So, like I said, it takes a lot of hard work, man. A lot of hard work.
So, man, what is your thoughts on the current sports scene with the COVID-19? I mean,
Well,
you
this is whatever. I mean, it has to be serious, because anytime you shut down professional sports, man, this has got to be something that's a lot more serious than what people think. I mean, they can tell you, they can kind of overplay it and be like, oh, it's nothing, you'll be okay. But being in the NFL for so long and realizing that, man, they don't stop a game for nothing. This got to be real serious, man. To cut down basketball and do all this, this is a very serious pandemic. So my thing is stay safe and stay in and just pray this whole thing just blow over.
I know that you have had to cancel some of your activities this summer because
Yeah. I normally have a relationship expo thing that's in August that I'm gonna cancel that, and I also normally have the NFL kickoff event in the first week in September, and I'm gonna cancel that this year. This year have really kind of been slow played. I mean, everything is kind of moving at a slow pace. I'll be glad when everything is over so we can catch up and kind of get the ball rolling. But this whole pandemic thing have really pushed a lot of stuff out, man. Not just for
so
me,
do
but for
you
everybody.
do you feel like canceling the September because the Essence Festival, the biggest festival. Again, I kind of go back to I was talking to my fiance. We went Orlando for December, man, and she got sick. And I really think that
Mm,
this situation started last year, and it should have been taken care of last year. But it's just like, you know, we go to Orlando, we see all these people.
hmm
Then you have the CES in Las Vegas, then you have
hmm
the Super Bowl, uh, then you have the NBA All Star. You have all, and then you have the Mardi Gras, and so you have all these big events that should have been where we wouldn't be in the situation right now. And it's like, and so now you got it's like the summer is just basically we're gonna be in the house in the summertime,
Yeah, I mean,
and it's scary.
no, but this is very scary, man. I mean, you never know when this whole thing started. Like you said, it could have been started last year, doing the Essence or doing Mardi Gras, doing the Super Bowl. You really never know when this thing started, man. And you don't really know what's going to come of it because even though once they do say they can lift the social distancing barrier and not do all of that, you still going to be precautious about what you do. You're going to still probably wear a mask. You're still going to wear gloves because you just don't know how long this thing gonna last. And I think, man, the way everything look, they might eventually start back working us everything soon, but you still gonna try your best to protect yourself. You're gonna have to because it's not just gonna go away. It's just, it might slow down a little bit, but you're gonna have to be precautious kind of just to take care of yourself, man. It's like I said, this is new. This is something that you never thought about, and it's probably something that maybe not happen in the next couple of next 100 years. But man, this is a serious event, man. And so, uh, man, like I said, you just stay in and stay safe.
Yeah. So let's kind of veer off to you had talked about the collective bargaining agreement. You're part of that agreement. I kind of wanted your thoughts on um, you know, how it's affected you now, um, going forward.
Well,
And
my look at it is it's not going to affect a lot of guys until the 1st of January next year because what the NFL doing, the guys that's getting the total and permanent benefits, the guys that's getting the benefits and stuff from the league, they're looking at cutting that back in order to help the guys in the future and some of the guys is before 1993. I just look at it that the fact that why would the NFL continue to try to take from us even though we haven't played this game in 10 years? Here it is 10 years, 11 years out the game, and the NFL is still shooting the guys down, taking, trying to take money from them, trying to it's almost like the league always want to put you in a position that you're going to have to reach out to them for help. They want to see guys struggle. They want to see guys that's down to be like, okay, we putting resources in place to help you out. Everybody don't need that. And my thing is why put some of the guys in situations like that? Because guys go through a lot of things, man. As soon as you get out the league, it could be investment that go bad. It can be a divorce. It can be child support. All so many circumstances happen with guys once they retire out the game, and so the league don't look at that. They don't look at the things that guys go through once their career is over, and it can put them in a bad situation. And so if they're comfortable right now, they're able to make it right now. I look at don't try to take from them to put them right back in the situation that they have been. And a lot of the wives have reached out and talking to the NFL about it because it's not only affecting the players, it's affecting your families. And kind of when you got yourself set up in a certain lifestyle and you're able to take care of your bills and able to take care of everything, and then all of a sudden one year you want to sign a collective bargaining agreement to say, hey, we're gonna take a little bit from you here. Everything is already in place. So I just feel like, man, they need to leave everything the way it is, and just keep going on, man. I mean, it's enough money out there to do whatever they want to do, but don't take from the guys that's already out the game. Now if we still playing and you still giving us those weekly checks, hey, you can take a little bit extra, but we still gonna make our money, But when we retire, man, it's over with. It's no longer getting them 4-figure checks coming in every week. It's no longer having that, So man, it's different. It's different. So man, I'm hoping that they can change something up and get this thing back in order. So we'll just see how it goes.
So you think that? So you feel that? I mean, it was really geared toward, and it's so, reading what you sent me, and then before I even understood it, I was just basically I thought it was just a win-win situation for the older players, but I didn't realize that like you said, they would take away from the older players, giving to the new players.
Yeah.
And
that's the whole thing, the league, one thing about the league always going to make sure they keep that shield protected. They want to always make themselves look like they're right, look like they're doing the right thing for the people to see. And the people don't see the backside of this, what the players see, because they only going to put up front what the best side of everything. But I tell my son, I said, man, the league is different. It's a whole different organization because it's different from basketball. It's different from baseball, when contracts are guaranteed. They have a whole different pension plan. They have everything totally different. But in the NFL, everybody don't get paid those $100 million contracts or those $10 million contracts. Everybody don't get that. And so, you maybe have 3 or 4 guys on the team that's maybe getting paid, but the rest of the guys is kind of all equal the same. And that's the difference. What people don't see is that, man, we have to push every year to make a salary. And then, like I said, even come from an HBCU, you're going to push even harder because, hey, the odds are already 10 times against you. So, it's just, man, it's a terrible situation to see that even though we've been out of the game 10, 11 years, that they still finding a way to just bring us right back down. So it's a tough situation.
Well, I mean, again, I know NFL is big, and I mean they all got the technology, safety, but I mean, like you said, these new players are basically making a lot of money.
Yeah.
And you got the older players who, that doing when you were playing, what was the average salary?
I think the minimum at the time was 289, somewhere around there, 289 or 300.
What was the highest signing bonus during your time?
It's really hard to say because every year it goes up a little bit. I'm gonna say maybe I really can't guess because I'm trying to think what guys on the team would get paid like that. I'll say maybe 20 million. Maybe that 20, 25 million, somewhere in that range, or probably higher, maybe a little bit higher than that. But these 100 million, it was nobody getting 100 million back in my day.
Right.
It was nobody.
100 million.
Yeah.
And you sitting next to a person who's making $34 million
exactly
a year.
Exactly.
And you making
exactly. You making 300,000, but you sit next to somebody who making 34 million.
Right.
Come on, man. So now you see it's out of whack. Like it's not. We're on a whole different level. What I gotta save up and buy, you can go buy with half of a paycheck. Not even half of a paycheck. So it's a difference.
So, well, let's get back to social media and sports, man. During your career, you have been very exposed to public opinion, and now thanks to social media, what do you consider? What do you consider to be the pros and cons of using social media within sports?
Social media is okay. I think social media can the good part of it is that it give you exposure, give you a lot more exposure than you was able to get years ago. You're able to reach a bigger audience. If you do something good, it's going to reach out to a lot of people, and if you do something bad, it's going to reach out to a lot of people. And I mean, that's at the click of a button. I mean, it can reach the masses. The negative side of that is that I look at it can be false. Um, Everything on social media is not accurate. Is not the truth. People always laugh about people getting catfish, and people uh, uh, just say people they show that they look one way. They just say how women have filters on the phone. You might think a woman look like this with a filter on, but then if you see in real life, she don't look nothing like what her social media profiles say.
Right.
So it
Right.
have a negative side to it, to where it give people a false reality. When you think a person doing well and he out here, he on vacation everywhere, he doing this, he doing that, and then you really get to know that person, it's like, no, he ain't doing all that. It's just a front. Social media can really be a front for a lot of people. Make a person think they're really doing so much and they really not doing that. So yes, you're able to reach a lot of people, but you're able to give a lot of people a lot of false information too. And so that's, to me, the pros and cons of it.
So, what do you think about the future of social media in sports? Will
I
that
think
kind of go back to the same?
yeah, I think it's going to always continue. It's going to get better. I think everything is going to continue to grow and continue to get better. It's just nowadays is what's totally different is that with social media, you're able to just reach such a large platform. You can actually reach out to anybody in the world that's on social media. You can reach out to an actor or athlete and just DM them or whatever you need information to get over. You can get over to. You can talk to anybody, and that's a great opportunity, man. Because back, a couple of years ago, we didn't have all that. We didn't have none of this. So yeah, it is. It's a great tool. Don't get me wrong. It's a great tool.
So when you were playing during the days you were playing, how social media was there, but I mean, was it very effective during the time you were playing?
No, no, it wasn't. It wasn't like an Instagram or something like that. You really had to do. Everybody wasn't on it. I think it was just new to that generation. Everybody wasn't on social media like it is now. I mean, you got teams that got Twitter accounts. You got team and people that works within the organization that's on Instagram. You got everybody that's on Facebook. All of that wasn't relevant years ago. We didn't have none of that, man. So it's totally different from when I played.
So the last thing I want to do is kind of talk about what you're doing right now with the marriage boot camp. If you can kind of elaborate on that project, what you're doing with your wife, and how effective it has been, what you've been doing, and what do you see it going in the next this year? Because of all this COVID-19, I think that boot camp is going to really be effective in this situation.
Well, you know what? It's not really considered a boot camp. What we're doing is we creating the month of August as just a relationship awareness month, and so what we look at is that it's just having a platform to just showcase healthy relationships, and that's kind of what we're doing. I mean, nobody have the true answer about everything, and I never had a boot camp or anything like that. What we do is just try to just encourage people to stay together, continue to grow your family, because if you look at statistics, man, it talks about children that's raised in a mother and father household have a better success rating than children that are raised with a single parent. So our whole thing is creating this month of August as relationship awareness month, where we're gonna put stuff out about that during August, and also just trying to help families stay together, man. I think the divorce rate in the NFL is 75%. So it's real high. And it's because people kind of get in situations and don't know how to get out of the situation. And then when the rubber hits the road, it breaks everything up. And when you break a family, you messing up the kids, you messing up everything. So that's kind of where it falls in line of what we're trying to do, is just really just trying to continue to just keep healthy relationships.
So are you doing anything different? And so right now, how are you communicating with that platform right now? Is it back to
We,
social media?
yeah, as of right now, my wife pretty much controls the social media. It's always something on social media she might post, and she haven't really got into the relationship part of anything yet because it's not close to August. But we're going to get more involved with relationships and pushing a little different stuff out about families and all that. Hopefully, the month of August, hope we can just lift all this coronavirus stuff and kind of get everything back on track.
We all hope so, man.
Yeah.
We praying that. I mean, it's going to be it's a wake up call, man.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Your life is totally changing. You're being inside. You're
Yeah.
having to
Well,
concentrate.
being inside really just show you, that either that's gonna put a lot of strain on your relationship or it's gonna make your relationship better.
Right.
One thing about it, it's gonna tell the truth about everything when it comes to a relationship. Either you love the person you with and you enjoy being with the person you with, or you need to get out this situation. This ain't who you want to be with. So it kind of goes in both directions. It really just bring a reality side to a relationship and show what you want to do in life. Thing about it is in a miserable situation. One thing I noticed that it's hard for a family to be together when the husband or the wife do not. You got to be honest with yourself, man. Life is short, and you don't want to waste 20 years of your life with a person that you don't want or you just hate you with. That's miserable, man. That's to me, that's torture to be in a situation. So this whole opportunity right now with this is really just showing a lot of people, what do you want to do in your life? It's almost like it's letting you know if you're going to either restart this thing or you be miserable in. So this can be this is a awakening for a lot of different things. So you just never know how it go.
You are correct, man. But Dante, it was a pleasure talking to you. And
Always, man.
For you taking the time out to kind of chat with me about the current situation, things that you've done, and that is all for today. I'm Daryl Duvall. Thanks for listening to Powering You Talk, and take care. And we look forward to y'all coming back next week.
Thank you so much, man.
Thanks for taking it. No problem.
No problem. All right.